The college football experience, Ohio Bobcats 2023 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Networks, brought to you by our very own Patreon. Yes, score exclusive perks, content, and contests, including our NFL win totals contest with $1,000 in prizes up for grabs. All right. Join today, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon. Once again, that is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon.
Hey, what's up, you degenerate gamblers? This is Bill Burr, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Yes, yes, yes. Woo! Welcome to the college football experience. Ohio Bobcats 2023 season preview episode. We are rocking on a Sunday, 7 days a week. There's no time to rest.
No, baby.
All right.
It is
We're
go
just
time.
rolling. It is football time, baby.
That's
Look, and you want to talk about the Ohio, you want to talk about a team that was so close to winning a MAC championship a year ago before Kurtis Rourke and these are the breaks got injured. Look, we're going to talk all about it because they bring back Kurtis Rourke. We've been a fantasy league and he was a top pick. Same with a couple other Bobcats. I got a lot to be excited about. Still waiting for my Frank Solich bobblehead that none of those Ohio fans hit me up with, Patty. See, I asked for a bobblehead. They were giving away a bobblehead night. None of them came forward to me.
No love.
Letting me down. But look, perhaps you're wondering who the hell you're listening to. And that's fair. That's fair. I'm just, look, my name is Colby Swig at Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. I would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
Yes. I love the MAC. You ain't got to worry about conference realignment. Old school, baby.
Oh, yeah.
The Ohio Bobcats have been playing football since 1894. All right.
That is a while.
Talk to me, world. All right. This is why we still love college football. I don't care if Hawaii's in the ACC. All right. Or whatever the hell happens next. But
the MAC is the MAC. It is a conference that is stable as can be and isn't touched. And yeah, maybe the MAC is really the
heartbeat.
That's
FCS, the MAC,
yeah.
Sun Belt, Mountain West,
part of the
heartbeat of college football. All right. SEC and Big Ten might be the face.
Yeah.
All right.
But they're getting plastic surgery.
That's what I'm saying. The Big Ten's looking like fucking Madonna. You see Madonna lately? Looks like a fucking battering ram. All right. Look, I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former JMU Duke defensive back, the burrito eating, sideline kiss stealing, wheeling and dealing, Patty C in the place to be.
Hi. Well,
let's get it going. Let's talk about proud program. They winners of the Sun Bowl, the Tangerine Bowl back in the day.
Wow.
I mean, most recently the Arizona Bowl. Got that done against the Wyoming Cowboys without their star quarterback. All right. Sometimes that happens,
Yeah. You got a new coach following up a legend of sorts in Frank Solich.
Damn right.
Tim Albin doing a great job in year 2 here.
He really is. And, I actually believe this first year, he didn't know he was going to be the head coach. It kind of like a couple weeks before the season was like, oh, hey, you're the head coach. There's a health scare with Frank Solich, and boom.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, I have a 3-9 season.
It was about 2 weeks until the season?
It really was.
Yeah.
Like, so
kind of tough circumstances to take over a team.
Yeah.
forgivable 3-9 first season, immediately improves by 7 games to 10-4. Back on track. In fact, it had been since 2011 since Frank Solich had gotten to 10 wins in a season. So maybe Tim Albin is the next step.
There we go. And look, I mean, Ohio, they've done it before. They won that 1968 national championship. If you ask old Dundee, you feel free to contact me and I will fill out the paperwork for that one. But let's talk a little bit about this. Tim Albin, I mean, what do you make? Year 2. Now, this is a guy that coached under Frank Solich for a long time, buddy, since 2005. Wow. He also was at North Dakota State and Nebraska. So he actually coached with him at Nebraska too. He played wideout at Northwest Oklahoma State. He's 13-13 all the time now, but I would say that was a big step. He's won a national championship in the NAIA. And now he's won a MAC East. He was the MAC coach of the year last year. He's also coach of the year, the NAIA, essentially the Northwest Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
His alma mater.
Now Solich, he was an option guy at Nebraska.
Yeah.
Did he continue that trend?
I mean, the older Rourke, not Kurtis Rourke, Nathan Rourke, who's now in the Jacksonville Jaguars. They definitely ran heavy his first couple of years. I feel like kind of making transitions to, but even before him, I felt like they were kind of still heavy run.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it seems to have changed under Albin in year 2. Much more of a passing oriented attack here.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
Let's talk all about it. We're going to break down the transfer portal, the offense, the defense, the special teams, and go game by game on the Bobcats schedule because they got a big one in about 19, 20 days. Cannot wait.
Yeah, buddy.
Till they have to get on the airplane, head over to San Diego and walk inside the snapper.
Yeah.
All right.
Colby and I are contemplating a visit. There's
contemplating
also
going to that.
There's also the Coliseum that is calling. Good problems. Good problems to have. College football options to watch. Yeah.
We're going to talk all about it. But before we do that, I want to tell you that the college football experience, Ohio Bobcats 2023 season preview, is brought to you by the Sports Gambling Podcast Patreon. Yes, it is the perfect place for the diehard DJ. Sign up for the Patreon to get access to exclusive contests, including the NFL win totals contest with $1,000 on the line for first place, plus a monthly SGP stories podcast. You want to hear about the time, I don't know, Lenny Dykstra left stacking the money green like 1,000 voicemails while he went on a fishing trip. You might hear about that. You might hear about the time Patty C cost me, I believe, about $8,800. So we're going to talk all about it. You're going to get all that. All right. And it's going to be uncensored, ad free, and highlighting the best stories from decades of B&D gens. There's even a Discord channel just for patrons, but you need to know this. Sports Gambling Podcast has and always will give out their picks for free. The Patreon is honestly just a way to support the network and fight back against corporate gambling. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/Patreon. All right. We are back on the college football experience. Ohio Bobcats 2023 season preview. Patty C, and this is a fun team. I mean, you look back at a season ago, buddy, and I think there's a lot of room for Ohio fans to say, you know what? We should have been the MAC champs. Remember, Rourke got injured before that game.
10-4. New defensive coordinator, first year defensive coordinator Spence Nowinski struggled out the gates, obviously against some tougher competition, the likes of Penn State and Iowa State on the road. And Fordham, a good FCS, gave him a strong push.
Yeah, Fordham was a FCS playoff team a year ago. Tim DeMorat's now on the Redskins, but
took a loss to Kent State, who was 5-7 in overtime early in the season within the first 5 games.
And Kent State, though, was really talented. You're seeing that Sean Lewis leaves for Colorado to be the OC.
Yeah.
Their starting quarterback Dustin Crum might start at UCLA. Their running back Marquez Cooper stud. He's now starting at Ball State. Both their wideouts one starting at Penn State, the other starting at North Carolina.
Ooh.
So
understandable to take an L there, but even still, it wasn't until really the second half of the season that they turned it around defensively, and maybe
it's easy to see a tide turn.
Defense bought into Spence Nowinski. Now, maybe the level of competition dropped off. Certainly, that's the case, but there were some good teams on the back half of that schedule that they pretty much bottled up.
I can tell you this. I know they didn't have Rourke in the MAC championship at that filthy fucking dome that they keep playing.
Yeah.
Hey, the MAC doesn't have any dome teams. You get to watch this wonderful regular season outdoors, nonstop. And then you have the MAC championship at that terrible ass stadium.
Yeah.
Come on, MAC. Soldier Field is about to be available.
You
got Lambeau there.
Yeah.
Shit, Arrowhead's not far. I mean, you got the Canton Field. Why are they not playing this in Canton?
Yeah. It's an Ohio-based conference.
What the fuck?
Canton should be the obvious choice here.
17 points though. They only held. I mean, the defense held Toledo 17 points in that filthy roller rink.
Yeah.
So
had the offense been able to generate more than a touchdown, then I mean, and this was a good offense last year. It really was. It scored a lot of points. So, not having Rourke really hurt.
Yeah, definitely.
How long has Rourke been the trigger man?
I feel like the Rourkes in general, no relation to Mickey, unfortunately. I feel like they've had a solid decade of Rourke quarterback play. Yeah. I feel like
this will be the 5th year in which Kurtis Rourke has taken a snap, has taken a snap for them. So didn't get much play time in his first 2 years, but has really obviously last year emerged into a stud. So
let's talk a little bit about this portal though, because obviously such a big factor in 2023 college football. And if you look at this team, let's talk about what left first. We're going to grade this portal. Leaving wide receiver Darnell Guin. He's in the portal. Wait, I'm sorry. I stand corrected. Let me give you, that was 2021. Sorry, Darnell. Catching stray from old Dundee here. Leaving in 2023 is defensive lineman Denzel Daxon. Heads out to the best defense in America last year, the Illinois Fighting Illini. That's tough.
3 tackles.
Why? But they had to see something. Why would the Illini and Bama be jumping on that?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Defensive lineman Kylan McCracken. I know, perhaps the son of Big Earn McCracken.
You never want to leave
great
that.
Name. This might be my favorite player in college football moving forward.
Kylan McCracken, baby. Bigger and son, you're right. 8 tackles, a little bit of a loss, more of a depth loss.
The great names keep coming because you have Cannon Blauser, a linebacker, hitting the portal.
That's a great one. He was more of a contributor. 11th on the team in tackles, 3.5 tackles for loss. So
Cannon Blauser, what a great name. Kicker Nathaniel Vakos heads out to Luke Fickle in the Wisconsin Badgers.
Now that is a huge loss. I mean, I guess you could say 22 of 27. That's pretty good. 81, 82%.
Yeah.
That's not excellent though, but still a good
Fair.
kicker. Yeah.
Athlete Jamison Collier hits the portal. I don't know how substantial that one is, but safety Tyler Mullins also hits the portal.
Yeah. Mullins again, 3 tackles, depth loss.
Not a ton of players. That's who they lost.
Yeah.
Now who they gained, buddy? Let's talk all about it. Because Chess Jackson, I think it's Ches Jackson, but it looks like Chess. Offensive tackle from Colorado State comes in, getting a little Mountain West blood in there.
There you go.
Holy Cross, who was fucking amazing. They had an undefeated regular season in the FCS, and actually, the team that played South Dakota State, who won the FCS championship the best, was by far Holy Cross, better than anyone.
They are Northeast football,
dude. I love them, man.
Yeah.
Their safety Walter Reynolds comes in, and he had 4 or 5 picks a season ago.
Yeah.
5 picks. That's a nice get. That's a good defensive team too. If you watch Holy Cross, they play good defense.
Yeah. For a pass defense that desperately needed some help last year.
So they go out, they get Walter Reynolds, and then they add Minnesota cornerback Miles Fleming.
There you go.
Getting some Big Ten blood. Yeah.
Yep.
And then this is the last one. Offensive lineman Dane Jackson coming in from North Texas. So, okay.
I have to say that is a good look on Albin, limiting the portal. To me, I guess you can't say.
Well, no, you normally have a 10-win team. You think more players leave, especially. I feel like look at ECU last year. They got just demolished.
Yeah.
And I bet you Rourke had some offers. Oh yeah. I could see big time programs throwing some money his way.
25 touchdowns, 4 picks. Who's not gonna?
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason.
Try and go get that.
Like
guy.
I said, I mean, we had our we're in the middle of doing our slow draft for fantasy for college football for fantasy football, but he was a top pick. Like he went. Let me see if I got this here.
First couple of rounds.
Yeah, I want to say like by the second round he was gone.
So that's within the first 30, 40 picks.
Yeah,
that's at least a statistically significant football player.
Yeah, Yeah. So,
but certainly in reality, a game changer, massively. Yeah.
And I think like 3 picks after him, another Ohio Bobcat way. We're going to talk about it. Let's talk about this offense because Patty C, Scott Ipshording, great name.
There you go.
Great name. 40th scoring offense in the nation last year. 72nd in run offense. 23rd in pass offense, charting at the 39th best offense in America. This offense, I mean, I think if you are a Bobcat fan, you got to be saying we should be the best offense in the MAC. Yep. They return 9 offensive starters, Patty C.
Unreal.
On an offense that was really fucking good last year. Now, obviously, we're going to pay attention to Rourke's health, but you even got to like the fact that CJ Harris
stepped and played okay.
Well, just that he got reps.
Yeah.
You got to like the fact that if that happens this year, you also brought in Parker Navarro from the UCF Golden Knights as a backup quarterback.
Well, I think he was there last year, but
no, but he's there now.
He's there now. Yeah. He did not perform quite as well, but 5 of 12. It's hard to. That's a pretty small.
Still another year in the system.
Yeah, you got
another year doing reps.
3 guys, that have reps that have all worked together. Yeah, the quarterback room looks solid.
And then the running back play. Big fan of these running backs. All right, Bangura, Sieh Bangura, fucking beast. 3rd team All MAC. And look, a couple years ago,
Bangura is in general. I don't know what it is about. They dominate. They dominate. It's a dominant.
But dude, Oshan Allison a couple years ago had a big game, big season. So like, you have a couple good backs back there.
Yeah.
The account you look and in 2022, Demontre Tuggle, who I think is playing pro football now, him and Allison accounted for 73.3% of the Bobcats non-QB rush yards. So that just shows you they have depth. They have 2 guys. They have 2 guys that can get after
and
Allison.
Yeah. Bangura good for nearly 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns. Also good for 27 catches. Effective.
Then the guy I'm referring to, who was 3 picks, taken 3 picks after Kurtis Rourke, and these are the breaks. Sam Wiglusz. Sam Wiglusz, 1st team All MAC a season ago. This guy's a stud.
Big numbers.
You got to be excited about this guy. I mean, he was at Ohio State a couple years ago.
Really?
So yeah.
Ohio State doesn't mess around with the receivers.
Yeah.
In case you hadn't noticed.
Heartline.
Yeah. Doing big things. National recruiter of the year, I believe, maybe at least a couple times. 73 catches, 877 yards, 11 touchdowns.
He's a stud. Yeah. And they bring back Miles Cross too.
Yep.
The other receiver spot.
Second leading receiver on the team as far as receptions.
Now they are breaking in a new wideout, but he's a senior. Jacoby Jones started 1 game a season ago.
Jacoby Jones, I'm seeing, still having massive production. Actually.
776 yards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are
this
your 3
receiving core is nasty. The 2 running backs, this QB, and then Patty C. Can we talk about their center, Parker Titsworth?
What's a Titsworth? A lot.
Gosh, a lot. I love this team. They got a Titsworth here, a Bangura there. They got they return. What?
You got a Bangura running behind a Titsworth.
They got 4 or 5 offensive linemen back. They bring in Ches Jackson from Colorado State. They also have Christoph Atkinson, who might be starting there. Buddy, this offense is going to be a lot better.
How many returning starters on the offensive line?
9. Oh no, 4 or 5.
4 or 5 on the offensive line.
They're all, and you can make a case because Jones didn't start for them last year,
but was their second leading yardage
so you
receiver.
can actually say 10 of 11 back on the offensive line.
This offense is going to fly.
Dude, they're going to beat San Diego State week 1. The more I lean into this, I'm like, I don't know. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball because as you talked about, Spence Nowinski. No relation to Monica.
In fact, a completely different last name,
but still
close enough.
Does like cigars. Scoring defense 80th a season ago. Got a little work cut out from there. 49th in rush defense, but that's probably because everybody said, "Hey, let's pass the ball on this team." 125th pass defense, charting at the number 108 defense. Got to get better there. But Patty C, like you said, he was a first year coordinator a year ago.
Yeah.
So maybe they were just understanding that defense. And throughout the year, they got better and better and better.
I mean, they gave up in the first 4 games, 38, 46, 43, 52 points. So no less than 38 points. And then after that, they didn't give up more than 27 for the remaining 9 games on the slate. So you could obviously see a market improvement there. Now, obviously, like we said, level of competition, but one of those, the highest point yield they gave up was to an FCS. So I would say,
and that offense was fire though. Tim Morat's in the NFL.
That's true.
Yeah.
But either way, they improved over the course of the year.
Agreed. Shout out to Dick Gertzberger in the chat. That's another great name. He said, "There's no easy way out. There's no shortcut home." I do believe he's quoting what band is that for the Rocky soundtrack?
Oh gosh.
I'm drawing a blank on it. I know this from Rocky 4, the soundtrack. It's
Robert Tepper.
Just a heater. That's just a fucking heater. Buddy, well, the defensive side of the ball returned 6 starters from a year ago, and 2 of 3 on the defensive line. Vonnie Watkins is back after 4.5 sacks a season ago. Patty C at the D end.
Nice.
Rodney Matthews is back as well. 7 tackles for loss a season ago.
Getting back in that backfield.
Now, here's the questions. The other defensive tackle, Ryan Buell, is played in 9 games a season ago. So it's not like they're just going to a brand new guy, but he's going to be asked to start. And then the other end, Bradley Weaver, who also had 14 tackles last year. He is going to be asked to step up and start at the other end spot. Linebacking core looking intact. All right. Bryce Houston back, Kaye Thompson back. They are breaking in. Well, that's more of the nickelback spot, but got the linebackers looking good. Secondary nickelback. They're bringing in a brand new nickelback. Adonis Williams is penciled in to be the starter. He's just a sophomore, but he had 31 tackles right from a season ago.
Yeah.
They return. They're both corners, Torrey Cox and Justin Burchett. And once again, they're bringing in Walter Reynolds from Holy Cross to start at free safety, and then Austin Brawley is supposed to start. He got 2 starts a season ago at the strong safety spot.
You know, I noticed in the stat sheet that this team has a ton of passes defensed, and you know, taking a look at it, they resemble the USC defense, which a lot of people would say that's a problem, and it is, but and they resemble it in the fact that they give up a lot of yardage. 108th in the nation. USC was 105th in total yardage. However, when it comes to turnovers, they're both in the top 20, I believe. Let me double check on that. USC was number 10. Ohio was number 17. So generating a lot of turnovers, but not stopping the ball.
How about this though? Their first 6 games a season ago, they averaged 561 yards per game defensively. Then the final 7 games, 331.
Woo! Is it the numbers again?
So the first 6 games,
yeah,
they were giving up 561 yards.
561.
But the final 7 games, just 331, buddy.
Spence Nowinski felt the heat,
making those adjustments. Now here's something that's a little scary. Bringing in a brand new kicker, freshman Gianni Spedic.
Yeah.
Punter Jack Wilson's back, but Patty C. Are you at all concerned breaking in a brand new kicker?
Wait, I just looked at this. Spence Nowinski went to Minnesota State. That's his alma mater. Isn't that Craig T. Nelson?
It is. That is.
He's a product of a Craig T. Nelson tutelage. That's it.
Make sure you stream the new show, Coach. It's fantastic. It's better. It's better than most of the show.
It is a show that
better than that Twisted Metal nonsense.
Was extinct before 90% of our listeners were born.
But let's talk about this. A year ago, they had a 3-point win against Florida Atlantic. a 7-point win against Fordham, a 7-point win against Northern Illinois, a 3-point overtime win against Wyoming. So a kicker matters. We got a freshman kicker. We got to see how good this guy is.
Yeah.
But
it's always going to matter. No matter what, the kicking game is going to factor. So you're losing a guy that goes to Minnesota and replacing him with a little freshman. Yikes. Could be a factor.
And let me say though that I think this offense will be better as long as Rourke is healthy. I need him to be 100% healthy.
Yeah.
And the defense should be better too, man. I'm kind of buying in. I'm really buying in. How about you? You think the offense?
Of course, you gotta think
yeah.
the schedule wise. I guess it's kind of it's easier. It's an easier non-conference slate, and so statistically on that alone, you expect it to improve. But I think in general they will be better. Offensively, Rourke, it's tough to get a lot better.
Than that. Well, he missed. Yeah. Another year though.
Really beyond like the 25 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, the 69% completion percentage,
He's a stud.
10 adjusted yards per attempt.
He's a stud, man.
He's not dinking and dunking.
Yeah.
He's throwing the ball down the field.
Shout out to Anthony Gutierrez in the chat. He says, "What's up, boys? Lived in Reno pretty much my entire life, and even though you two were on the under, I really enjoyed the Nevada preview." But he says locals pronounce it
Nevada.
And you know what? I was just on VSiN on the Greg Peterson experience the other day. I'm on that actually every Thursday, folks.
Boom.
If you want to listen, but they corrected me on a commercial break on that too. They take it really personal. Nevada. I don't know, but
look, we're from the East Coast.
Yeah, from the East Coast, and I never learned how to read. So appreciate you, Anthony, though, hopping in the chat, man, as we talk Ohio Bobcat football. Folks, you can watch it youtube.com/the college experience. Okay, so look, we're gonna go game by game on this schedule and talk a little Ohio Bobcat ball and see how we got them projected to be in 2023. But before we do that, I want to tell you that the college football experience, Ohio Bobcat season previews brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, the NFL season is right around the corner, and Underdog Pick'em is a great way to get down on a ton of NFL player props. It's also available in a ton of different markets. Plus, plenty of opportunities to win in their daily MLB contest. And of course, make sure to enter their Best Ball Mania, where first place gets $3 million. Patty C, what would you do with $3 million?
I'd take it to Nevada and visit a bunny ranch and blow it all in one night. Hello. What's up, Lamar Odom?
Yeah, there you go. Head over to underdogfantasy.com. Use that promo code SGPN for 100% deposit bonus up to $100. That's underdogfantasy.com. Promo code SGPN. All right. Look, Patty C, if you're watching, first off, folks, subscribe on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. That is the hub for all of our podcasts. But Ohio Bobcat fans, on this very show, I have MACtion episodes that come out that are strictly covering the MAC. Check those out. But also, this is the college football experience. I host that. We host that, but we also host the FCS college football experience. Make sure you are subscribed to that because I think little Youngstown State fans out there, nothing like going to catch a game at the Ice House, So check out
the Penguins.
Yeah, the Penguins. That's another one that
we might need to work on a pronunciation. Right?
But then you have also the college basketball experience. Ohio keeps a good basketball program, man. I remember back to the days of the Shack of the Mac, Gary Trent. So subscribe, and when college basketball season tips, you'll hear me every single night of the season talking college hoops. Been doing it for years. And then also we have the college baseball experience. Check out that. And the Big 12 experience is brand new. Cincinnati's in the Big 12. I know.
Speaking of Cincinnati, Ohio's 23-24 all time against those Bearcats. They think they're hot shots up in the Big 12 these days. Ohio's still right there.
Yeah, put it on the schedule, baby.
Let's go.
What did Kirby Smart say at SEC Media Day, which is it just bothers me. Say, everyone's, what do you think about our schedule? Our schedule being weak. Yeah, well, come play it. Okay. Interesting. I'm pretty sure Penn State or Ohio State would love to play it.
Gladly do that.
How do we arrange that? What button do we have to press? Fucking answer. But yes, obviously that Ohio, Cincinnati, put it on the schedule, baby. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. And by the way, go listen to our Phil Steele episode. He was on the show this past week. But Patty C, if you're watching on YouTube, you see the sweet graphic. Shout out to our guy Cam Kerr, our graphics guy. But you also have this win total at 7.5. I'm shocked that it's that low. Are you? They won 10 games a season ago.
Yeah, I mean, diving into a little team history. Let's take a peek here. I guess Solich's last year 6-6, but prior to that, 8-4, 8-4, 8-5
with the Rourke.
8-4.
You don't lose football games with a Rourke back there. All right.
Yeah, 10-4. And
that's the BC Lions.
A super senior Rourke.
There you go. Shout out to Frozo in the chat. It says, shout out to the GOATs. We're seeing a path for the Pac-4 to pull from the group of 5 and merge with the likes of USF, Tulane, SMU, and maybe ECU for Kobe. We will talk about that. We are going to be back doing our Big 12 preview at 4:00 Pacific, 7:00 Eastern. So we will talk about that. Major
Applewhite. Major Applewhite, indeed.
That's what you say to that. Major Applewhite. Look, we'll talk about that. We're right now. We're diving into the Bobcats. We got to give them their due respect. I appreciate you though, Frozo. Patty C, let's get into the schedule because I lean over all day. With knowing all that production coming back.
Essentially, in the non-conference, you're replacing one FCS with an easier FCS, and the fact that you lost to that FCS, they squeaked by it. And you're replacing Penn State with San Diego State. Everything else stays the same.
This schedule's genius. Let me. By you playing a week 0 game, you get 2 bye weeks. I think that's a low key advantage for these teams, right? So week 0 at the Snapper in San Diego, California. Now, San Diego State's been a good team for the past 12 years.
Yeah.
I think this is a huge game on that total. This is a huge game on that total.
For Ohio?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I lean strongly over. So I don't know how huge it is, but we'll see.
Yeah.
It's
big
one.
A 50-50 game to me, but I would probably slightly lean San Diego State, but
sure. But I mean,
do we have a line on this? Let me pull up a line.
Generally speaking, San Diego pretty nice. I know when they opened the Snapper, was that last year or was that 2 years? Last year. The opening weekend was
Arizona beat the piss out of them.
Barbaric heat.
Yeah, actually the hottest day in San Diego history, I think.
People passing out in and out of the stadium. Hopefully Ohio doesn't run into that, although Ohio heat in the summer is no joke either. So I'm sure they're somewhat prepped for that. And I think with Rourke having all that experience, that's the ideal situation to catch a team week 1.
I'm pulling up the line right now. San Diego State's laying 3.5. You can get the Bobcats plus 140 on the money line right now. Look, let's just favor San Diego State. Let's just say San Diego State gets it done, even though I think it's a 50-50 game.
Much of an upset,
So now they host the very next week the Long Island Sharks, the fucking Sharks. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Look, they used to be called the Blackbirds, but apparently that's offensive. Even though the Beatles have a single called Blackbird. Apparently back then, I guess the Beatles.
Characterizing something by its color is offensive inherently. Fuck up. I'm a white person. Okay. Anyway,
and that's a Blackbird,
right?
But the Sharks, the fucking Sharks, they're not going to come into good old Athens, Ohio, and get that dub. All right.
Yeah.
Trent Green's son did play for the Sharks last year, but they're
LIU sucks.
Yeah. 1-1.
Yeah.
Now comes a big one. But once again, this is why this schedule is genius. Florida Atlantic, the Owls, who hired a new coach in the offseason, Tommy Herman, who I think is a damn good coach. I think it was a damn good hire in Boca Raton. And I'm bullish on that hire.
This was a dangerous game last year in Peden Stadium.
Ohio won by 3 in Peden Stadium. But I think FAU is a way more talented team as far as recruiting. But
recruitments.
Yeah, to quote the great George W., this is week 2 for them. Week 3 for Ohio. I think it's a slight edge to Ohio. What do you make of this one here in Boca Raton?
I mean, a full strength Ohio team with 9, really 10 offensive starters.
FAU brings in Casey Thompson.
That's a nice pickup. Now let me get a national composite numbers pulled up here. Ohio is at 123, and
FAU, Florida Atlantic.
Atlantic is 69. So yeah, significantly more talented.
I mean, do you want to just say that it's
that home field advantage?
Yeah.
All right, we'll hand them a
It's gonna
lot.
be hot as shit. Okay, 1 and 2.
That's being.
But they could easily be 3-0 right now.
They easily could. Yeah.
And then this gem, they are hosting Iowa State, and Iowa State has like a shit ton of players suspended with this gambling thing. We haven't learned the suspension yet, but we know that they're going to be suspended, including their starting quarterback Hunter Deckers. So all of a sudden, this game becomes very winnable. I know they got rolled in Ames last year.
Yeah, what was that? 43-10.
Yeah.
Well, I think I don't know what game is going to come from.
Give me 2 and 2.
2 and 2. Yeah.
2 and 2.
Yep.
In the non-con. Then Saturday, September 23rd, they head to Bowling Green, Ohio to take on the Falcons.
38-14 last year in Peden.
No, they're beating Leffler.
Yeah.
3 and 2. And then they get their first bye week. Remember, they have 2. And they host, I think, one of the worst teams in all of college football, maybe the worst.
Who they did lose to last year, though.
Yes, but all those players are gone. Yeah. Kent State comes in.
The coach is gone.
Yeah. Everyone's gone. Literally everyone is gone.
And it's homecoming in Athens.
So 4 and 2, buddy.
Yep.
4 and 2. Now they head to DeKalb.
Yes. Make sure you pronounce that hard L.
DeKalb.
Yeah.
To take on Rocky Lombardi. They're
gonna give the Huskies a hard L.
This is a game. This is a game now.
Tommy Hammock.
This is a game.
Gonna have a bounce.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this is the toughest game in conference they have. Because Lombardi got injured last year, much like Rourke. He was out the whole year though. Rourke was not.
Yeah.
They won the MAC championship the year prior.
A nice quarterback game.
Yeah, this is a good game, man. You know what? Give me NIU.
You're just recklessly trashing the Bobcats after their beautiful 10-win season. You already got them losing 3 halfway through.
Yeah, but now they play Western Michigan, who's breaking in a brand new head coach. Not gonna happen in Athens. Win. Then a big game here, which I actually think this is huge for conference implications. The Miami, Ohio Redhawks and Chuck Martin, Brett Gabbert.
Their most played rival of all time. The series 42-54 in Miami, Ohio's favor. Sure, they're trying to close that gap a little bit.
Give me the Bobcats to get this one.
Absolutely.
Okay, and then they head to Buffalo. Take on the Bulls and Maurice Lindquist, Cole Snyder's Pretzels.
The bye, is it going to help?
I got them beating Buffalo at Buffalo. I just think they're better.
Buffalo coming off a road trip to the Glass Bowl at Toledo the week before. I think they're better than Buffalo too. I'm giving them the win. I only have them at 2 losses right now.
Dude, they could be undefeated. Let's be honest. They're capable of winning every one.
If they have a magic year.
They get their second bye week, which is fantastic. I think if you're a Bobcat fan, and then you're hosting Central Michigan, who I do think is going to be better this year. And I think this is a sneaky game, but Ohio's better. Give me that dub for the Bobcats.
I'll give them a loss by this point in the season.
No, you're going to give them a loss the very next week.
No, I'm not.
Because they go into Infocision Field, formerly the Rubber Bowl, and well, it's not actually the same stadium, but the Rubber Bowl's. I still like to call it the
they
Rubber
took
Bowl.
off the rubber.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to do that.
That's right.
Buddy, Akron's gonna pull the upset. Ohio still on the over. I feel great about it. I have them 8-4, but they're probably gonna be 9-3.
9-3, 9-3.
Dude, I love the over here. What am I missing?
No, nothing.
Should we lock this?
Well, I don't think the odds makers are probably taking into account the Iowa State situation yet. The fact they get them at home too. A lot of variables that's going to make that game a lot closer than it was last year.
But to me, like they'd have to lose every one of their 50-50 games. I look on the schedule and I say, okay, they would to hit for the under to cash, they would have to lose to San Diego State, lose the Florida Atlantic, lose to Iowa State, lose to Northern Illinois, and then get upset by somebody else because I think they're favored in every other game.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, Let's take a peek at the.
They're actually going to be favored at Northern Illinois.
The
too.
records.
They're going to be favored in fucking 9 games this year.
Here, I got the MAC standings.
Yeah.
Read off the MAC games that they
get Bowling Green
6 and 7 last year.
Yeah, but they lost last year coming into the season. Bowling Green was the oldest team in college football. They're all gone.
Yeah, we know what Leffler is.
Yeah,
typical.
They're all gone. And then
looks like
Kent State, Patty C.
Kent State was 5 and 7 last year.
And guess what? Their whole team all gone.
Yep.
Northern Illinois
3 and 9 last year.
They are back. But Western Michigan
5 and 7 last year.
Miami, Ohio 6 and 7 last year. That though is misleading because Gabbert got injured. They're probably better than 6 and 7. Buffalo, the Bulls
7 and 6.
They get a bye week and they're taking on Central Michigan, who I think will be better this year.
4 and 8.
And then Akron
2 and 10. They avoid Toledo and Eastern Michigan out of the West. Those are the 2 teams with the best records aside from them, 9 and 5 and 9 and 4 respectively. That's a sweet conference schedule.
And Ball State. Ball State's solid too.
Yeah, Ball State.
They play 3 teams, but
I mean, most of the MAC is hovering around 500.
Well, that's because
they play a tough non-conference.
Yeah, I mean, Ball State's like at Kentucky, at Georgia, and then what did Kent State do last year? At Georgia, at Oklahoma, and at Washington in the non 3 straight weeks.
Paying the bills.
Folks. I think Patty C. Hold on, you didn't answer my question. Is this a lock? And random radio shows or random media show. Did Solich retire? Yes, he did 2 years ago from health reasons. But Tim Albin has picked up where he left off. Patty C, is this a lock on the over? Because I think it is.
I think it is too. I want to see obviously Spencer Nowinski in year 2. See if he can maintain the improvement he made in the second half of the season. If that defense is where it was in the second half of the season, this is an absolute lock.
Lock it up, baby.
Yeah.
Lock it up. Look, folks, before we get out of here, because I'm on the over, Patty C's on the over, and we're locking it up. All right. Play some lock music here. All right. Here we go.
Look out, just watch him go. Look out, Buffalo.
All right. Look, I had a chance to sit down with Michael Barker, aka College Football Campus Tour. He's been to every college football stadium. And he got to tell me about his experience to Athens, his experiences to Athens, and Peden Stadium, which Patty C, I'm kind of bullish on the stadium. Do a little Google imaging.
Now I got to take a peek.
Here's that interview. Joining me on the college football experience, Ohio Bobcats 2023 season preview episode is none other than the great Michael Barker, aka I like to call him the king of college football stadiums, but he's on Twitter at CFB Campus Tour. So we call him College Football Campus Tour as well. Michael, appreciate you hopping on the show to talk about Peden Stadium, aka the Ohio Bobcat Stadium, man.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for that very nice introduction. And I'll just come out and say this is my favorite MAC stadium. So looking forward to chatting about Peden.
Yeah, I mean, first off, folks, if you don't know, Michael goes to every stadium. He's been to every FBS stadium and most of them multiple times. You got to follow his page because he does the photo of the game. It's absolutely fantastic. He'll talk about the history of the game, show you shots from the stadium from years past. Absolutely must follow. He's been to a lot of the FCS, a lot. I feel like D2, D3, everything. So make sure you give him a follow on Twitter and. Yeah, tell me about the history of Peden Stadium because I'll be honest, when I Google image this, I can see why it's your favorite in the MAC because it looks awesome. This is a really cool stadium for what it looks like. I haven't been, but tell me about the history here.
So it's opened in 1929. It's the oldest stadium in the MAC. It was designed by the same architects who designed Yankee Stadium in Fenway Park. So that's why it's got that classic look. Named after Don Peden, who was a former Ohio coach, athletic director, and he was one of the co-founders of the MAC conference. It's been expanded since it opened in 12,000 double capacity official to 24,000. And the record crowd they've ever had was in 2012 versus New Mexico State, 25,893.
Wow. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry while you were talking. I was just looking at more images and I love the one of the sides looks like, it looks like I can totally see the connection between Yankee Stadium or Fenway with the way it looks with the brick at one point on like maybe the entrance. I'm not sure, but it looks awesome, man. How many times have you been to the stadium?
Yeah, I've been there 3 times. They call that Peden Tower. You know, that's the back of the press box, the home side. They've added to make it a horseshoe now almost. There's like a berm grass area in one end, and then there's a small open area with, it's either an athletic center, but there's a balcony where if you pay extra money, you can stand above it and watch the game. They're very good seats. This one, Maction weekday games. I've been to 3 games at Peden, 2018, 2019, and last year, 2022. I always try to go there, even if I've been there before. The best game that I ever saw was 2019 versus Miami of Ohio. The rivalry is called the Battle of the Bricks, and they were both 3-1 in conference, and Miami ended up winning 24-21. And it was the great crowd, great energy. And again, I think this is the best stadium in the MAC. I put the Glass Bowl in Toledo up there. But, if I got asked the question, which one, if you could go to one MAC stadium this fall, which one would you go to? It would be Peden.
Yeah. I mean, it just looks really cool, man. It just looks, I got to get out there. Just looks like a super cool stadium, and knowing the history there and how long it's been there, absolutely fantastic. Folks, this is the type of nuggets you're going to get. And we love those Maction games. And trust me, what's great about Michael's page is you'll see him on like a Tuesday at Peden Stadium. And then on Wednesday, he'll be at the Glass Bowl. And then on Thursday, he'll be in like Colorado Springs at a Utah State Air Force game. And then Friday, he hops over to, I don't know, the Salt Lake City to catch Utah play. And then on Saturday, he'll do the doubleheader. It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. And he documents it all. And it's not just like documenting like a drunk dude. You go into a game and just say, hey, I got a Miller Lite and here's the game. No, it's professional. It looks really good. Like the photos. I know you don't. I know you feel. I feel like you don't even work with. You work with just an iPhone, right?
Yeah, just an iPhone. Yep, that's my trigger.
It's still great work, man. It's not. I highly recommend people to check it out. And Michael, I appreciate you hopping on the show. Maybe one day I'll catch you at Peden Stadium on one of those awesome weekday games in the MAC.
Yeah, this is a good one. We got to do it. So thank you for having me as always.
Fantastic. Peden Stadium, Patty. See, this stadium looks fucking cool.
Cool little stadium. Looks like it's like right next to campus, quad right there.
Got a little like forest at one part.
Yeah, forest behind, a little river running behind it.
Yeah, a little lawn area too to watch the game.
Oh yeah, a little hill.
Yeah,
a
like
lot
it,
of
man.
factors making this a pretty cool stadium.
That's what I'm talking about. All right, folks. Well, look, we got to get out to a game there. And if you're in the Ohio area, what the fuck are you doing? All right, you're not living life right. Get out to Peden. Folks, hit me up. I want my Solich bobblehead. You filthy. I know there's some extras hanging around Athens. We want it right here next to the Leech bobblehead in studio. Yeah, I'm on the over. Lock it up. Patty C's on the over. Lock it up. Yeah, and I think it's a strong play. Subscribe to the College Football Experience because we're breaking out all 133 team previews with the solo podcast for each and every team in the land. Plus, we already dropped our MAC preview. Go listen to our MAC conference preview. So yeah, random media show in the chat saying, let's get lit in Athens. There we go. Go out there, do some Jaeger bombs, do all that good stuff. Right, Patty C?
Yeah, buddy.
Let's go.
I feel like they probably party over.
Oh,
Athens.
Come on. Of course they do. Of course they do. All right. You got a Rourke playing quarterback. You're fucking partying. All right.
You're probably partying a little too hard.
Yeah. Let's go. MAC champions. It's been a long drought. Long time. Maybe this year's the year. Folks, subscribe to the College Football Experience. Once again, youtube.com/the college experience. On Twitter. Patty C's on Twitter at PattyC831. I'm on Twitter at the Colby D. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. And don't forget, check out our other podcasts, the College Basketball Experience, the FCS College Football Experience, the regular College Football Experience. Maybe you're not subscribed, you're listening to this. Get over there. Wherever podcasts can be found. The Big 12 Experience, the College Baseball Experience. We got you covered. College sports never stop here. We come together as one on YouTube, youtube.com/the college experience. Check out that Phil Steele interview. We just had Phil on. If you get the SGPN app, which is free to download in the App Store and Google Play Store, you'll get access to all that stuff in our articles. We get articles about the MAC coming out left and right. So check it out. And also, the Discord. A lot of those Tuesday, Wednesday games, week 0. You're a Bobcat fan. You're wondering who's sweating this out with you. Get on over to the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. And folks, until next time, this is the college football experience, Ohio Bobcat style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Run and shoot. We can really run and shoot. And the whole team's looking and the whole world's looking with the gamblers. Run and shoot.